Hey guys, welcome back. If you happen to find this video from another source, just know this is actually kind of part two to a larger video about my biggest sleepers in the draft. So you can definitely catch that in the end screen here, or go check that one out first, whatever you want to do. So now we've got my not so my guys, and I want to really assert this that I don't hate any of these players. I actually like a lot of aspects of a lot of these guys' games. These are just kind of guys that, based on my evaluations and my grades, it did not line up with where a lot of these guys are projected to go. And more likely than not, I would not end up with these players. That is not to say that I would not draft them at the grades I gave them. It's more just, by the sound of it, it doesn't sound like they're going to be available at where I'd be comfortable taking them. So let's start with Daniel Jones here out of Duke. Sounds like he's going in the first round. I couldn't do it. I don't see the upside. I don't see the arm strength, the downfield accuracy. He could be Andy Dalton, Ryan Tannehill. He could very well become a starter. I don't think he's ever going to be a franchise quarterback that I'm ever comfortable, rolling out year after year. So I'm not taking him in the first round. That's just my philosophy. Then we've got Kiel Harry. I like him. Really good catching traffic guy, but you look at all the analytics, the ability to catch the ball in traffic is nice, and you can be better at it than others, but it's not a reliable way to win. I'd rather you have elite separation skills. And now he runs good routes and has good foot quickness. I think he'll be able to release at the line of scrimmage. Somewhat similar stuff to Riley Ridley, actually. I just think he's going to struggle a little bit getting open, especially early. And I don't know. There's other receivers I like better than Kiel Harry. He doesn't really pop to me. I like the spectacular catches, don't get me wrong, but I think you can get a little sold too much on those. Then Hakeem Butler, kind of the same thing. He's got good long speed, but I don't like his lateral quickness. They say he's a good route runner. I don't know. I don't completely buy it. We've seen Hakeem Butlers in the past who are 6'5", run, really fast at their size, who can jump over people in college and dominate physically. That doesn't work in the NFL. You got to have a lot more attention to detail. Now, I do like the upside. Third-round pick, take a chance on a big, fast wide receiver. But in the first and second round, where I'm looking for impact players, I'm not necessarily comfortable doing that for Hakeem Butler that some people think should be a first-round pick. Then Arcega Whiteside. Again, I want my receivers to separate. He's a really good catching traffic guy. Personally, I like Cody Thompson better, who I think is a better route runner. I like James Gardner better, who's going to be a lot cheaper and I think has better ball skills. You just got to have him stay healthy. So, just difference of opinion there. Then Terry McLaurin. I'm scared of this one because everything that is going on with him is what happened with Dante Pettis last year, where a couple people say he's a great route runner, hard worker, and is going to be a fantastic day one starter in the NFL. I think Mel Kiper actually said he could be a first-round pick. Now, I'm going to stay true to my evaluations. I don't see that. I'm scared that he's going to go in the second round and be Dante Pettis, who I had a fifth-round grade on last year, just like Maclaurin. Well, after seeing Pettis in the NFL, I was wrong about that player, for sure. So I'm a little scared of that with Maclaurin, but for me, I didn't see it. I see a wide receiver 4 or 5 with good athletic ability, could be a really damn good special teams player, but I think he's going to go a lot earlier than I'm comfortable taking him. Then Irv Smith, just, you still see him in the late first, early second round. With the emergence of Foster Moreau, I actually like Jay Sternberger better. He's more athletic and can block. I think people like the idea of Irv Smith as this elite mismatch problem, but he's actually not super elite speed. He's definitely above average speed, and he's only 6'2", so he's essentially like a slow A.J. Brown in a way. A.J. Brown, I believe, is 6 feet 230. Irv Smith, 6'2", 240. So he could very well go late second, early third in the right team. I think with Tennessee or New England, he could be a really good tight end. I'm not comfortable with him in the early second round like a lot of people think. And then Josh Oliver, another tight end. I don't like his game. Maybe I caught a bad week for him. I dialed up one game, and he looked like he was walking around. He was upright as a blocker. I think he dropped a ball wide open. He ran a really fast 40. Great. I didn't see anything on tape that, frankly, made him a draftable prospect, but at some point you got to listen to what other people say. Some people think second, third round on him. I think he's an incredibly raw prospect worth a late ad to see if you can coach him up. Then we got Eric Mccoy. Now, I like him. He's a center, which is a devalued position to start with. But, a thick lower body, explosive dude. Going to be a pretty good run blocker. He's going to be sturdy as a pass blocker, but he can let some guys go, and he can have some inconsistent tape on him. You know, I think he's a really good center. 3rd, 4th round pick. I heard Mel Kiper say yesterday on his podcast, lock for the 1st round. I can't go there. Sorry. Then we got Montez Sweat. I've labored about Montez Sweat's off-field issues. Then you got the heart issue pop up. He's 23 years old. He's incredibly raw. He's got no bend. He's going to be able to win some matchup problems with that length and speed against some tackles that don't have the length and quickness to keep up with him. He could have a decent career if he can work. But I'm not comfortable taking him in the top 20 where most people say he should go. I would take him if I was Seattle at 21, especially after the Frank Clark thing, because I see the upside. The dude's explosive, but I need him to get in a culture with a coaching staff that's going to get this guy to work. And Seattle, if any team has established a culture of, I don't care how athletic you are, I don't care if you are a 1st round pick, Rashad Penny, if someone's better than you, they're going to play. So if Montez Sweat gets there, they're going to get the most out of him. So I love that to Seattle at 21. There's no team before that I would even consider Montez Sweat. And then Jalen Ferguson. Yeah, he's got good technique, good run defender, versatile dude. I don't see the athletic upside. I see a 3rd or 4th rotational pass rusher. People mock him in the 1st round. I don't see the upside. Then we got Charles Omenihu, developmental, kind of freak athlete, kind of that tweener, interior lineman, edge guy. I think his best chance is to gain weight and try and be like a Deshaun Hand on the inside with that explosiveness. But that's a project, and I've seen him mocked in the 2nd round. I'm not going to go there with him. He's got a lot of growing to do. 5'6" might be a little harsh, but 2nd round, no thank you. Then Christian Wilkins, unfortunately, is going to make this list. Now, this one I want to clarify. I think he's going to be a very good pro. I think he could be a 8 to 10 year starter as a number 2 defensive tackle. The thing is, this last week leading up to the draft, I've heard top 10, top 16, and I've gone on a rant about the depth of defensive linemen in the NFL. In the free agent market right now, it hasn't even really started. Ndamukong Suh, Muhammad Wilkerson, a long list of really good defensive tackles that you can still get. And Christian Wilkins could be a very good starting lineman, but to me, he's Dalvin Tomlinson. And like I said earlier, if you're not getting an interior lineman that's an elite interior pass rusher, I don't want to invest a lot in it. You can do like what the Colts did with Al Woods, with Marcus Hunt, and get a good run defending 1st and 2nd down lineman on the cheap without spending a 1st round pick on the guy. So I would take him in the 2nd and 3rd round if I needed a starting defensive tackle for sure, but I really am not considering him in the 1st round given supply and demand at the position. And then Rock Ya-Sin, cornerback at a Temple, big physical dude. Now, if he turned into an instinctive zone cover corner, something like Josh Norman, say, it wouldn't totally surprise me. But I think he is very scheme dependent. I don't really like him man-to-man. And he doesn't really have the elite skills you look for physically. So I think he could be a good player. I just like a lot of corners in this class, and he kind of gets pushed down. I've seen him in the 1st round very consistently. I wouldn't personally go there. The only team I think could do it is the Colts, and I actually wouldn't hate that, even though I have a 3rd round grade on him. A zone-heavy scheme, but I think he's just a little too scheme-dependent for me to push above a lot of these corners that I think are a little more versatile. So that's going to do it. Got a little longer than expected, but I'm really excited to get your reactions to this video. Here guys that you think are sleepers. Again, you can get full access to my draft board. You can see how all these guys stack up against each other with full profiles. That is available on my Patreon. I'll also be giving away some of those during the live stream tomorrow night. So please do hit that like button, and cheers as always. We'll see you next time. Peace out.